Happy New Year, happy 2024, and with the new year comes a new overall TBR for the year. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to actually get to all these, but these are my goals, and this does not include anything that is going to come out this year or anything I just happen to pick up along the way. This is just what I'm hoping to have read by the end of the year, even if I've just started some of them. But regardless, it's a small list, not a very big list, and a lot of these books, the hype is kind of already gone. I'm kind of late into the reading stages of my life. Didn't do a lot of reading in high school, so not a lot of the classics are under my belt, and so because of that, I've been catching up with a lot of the amazing books that everyone has recommended to me. For example, I read Harry Potter for the first time last year, which for most people, they did that in middle school. So like I said, I'm catching up. And because of that, a lot of these books are kind of the hype is already gone in the YouTube sense, but I'm still really, really excited about reading these and making videos about them. So to start off with, we are going to dive right into the big boy. We're going to be reading The Lord of the Rings. That is going to be one of my biggest goals for this year, is to get through the book. I'm not going to be reading this copy because this is my wife's special copy. So we're not going to be touching that one. I'm just using it for showing off video purposes. Instead, we're going to probably be using the ones that she read and have already, bent the edges and such. So we're not going to be reading this extremely pretty copy. It's genuinely gorgeous. Instead, we're going to be reading one that's already been read. But regardless, we're going to get through The Lord of the Rings this year. And I am truly, truly excited about it. Another giant series I want to start. I have no plans on actually getting through this entire series, but The Wheel of Time. I'm really excited to start this. I already have the first three. I got the second one right here. And the third one you can't see. It's wrapped in really, really pretty. I have the first three, so I'm ready to get into the series. I've had the first two for almost, by the time we come around the summer, it'll be a year, and I haven't touched them yet. So I'm excited to get started into these. I've heard mixed opinions about how long it takes to get into them and how many books in before it's really, really good. Some people say it's book 2. I've heard 4, 5, or 6 is where it really starts to pick up. But regardless, I'm going to read them all, assuming I don't absolutely hate them. But they're really, really pretty books regardless, and I wouldn't mind having them on my shelf. It's just, I don't like having books on my shelf if I haven't read them, so we're going to try to read them all, even if we don't love them, and if we don't, I'm not going to pick up book 4 and 5. But like I said, for Christmas, I got book 3, and I'm not even going to unwrap it because it's quite possibly one of the best copies of any book I have ever received. It is immaculate. There is nothing wrong with it, and it's amazing. Anyway, moving on, we're going to be diving finally into some Robin Hobb books. This is the Farseer trilogy. I want to get into the Live Ship Trader trilogy as well, but I have no idea if I'm going to get to that this year. I would like to. I don't actually own any of those books. We have these ones, so that's why I'm going to start with this one because it's right here. So I'm really, really excited to read that series because of it. And there's so much hype around Robin Hobb. She's really touted as an amazing writer, and I'm really excited to get into some of her books so I can experience that and to understand why there are so many people that like her books. And to continue on with that theme, we're going to go with The Jade City, or just Jade City by Fonda Lee. There's 2 other of these. We only have the first one because we're not sure if we're going to love the series. I'm excited to read it regardless. It sounds like an amazing story. It sounds like an amazing book. I'm really excited to get into this, but I've already named a lot of books, and I'm not a very fast reader, so it might take me all year to get through all of these books. I'm also going to dig into The Lies of Locke Lamora. I know a lot of people really, really, really loved this book, and I think it's part of a series. I'm not actually sure, but regardless, I want to dig into that because so many people talked so much about it. Like I said, a lot of the books on this list are just, the hype's already come and gone. There's going to be more amazing books this year, and I'm not going to be able to get to those. So I want to have a good year of reading so that I can catch up in a sense, so that I'm reading things that are coming out, and I can dig into more indie authors that I'm really excited about. There's so many books that I've seen on the internet that just look and sound amazing that I want to get into, but I really want to catch up in terms of reading a lot of the things people have already talked about and already really like. And lastly, I want to read Fahrenheit 451, just to throw in something that's not fantasy in there. It's kind of a classic work, I guess. I've always wanted to read it. It sounded really interesting. So that's just to top it off, is that we have quite the stack here. Let me get this. I know this isn't exactly the biggest stack you have probably seen from a YouTuber, but it's what I want to read. I'm probably going to have way more. I'm currently reading a series. I'm going to be done with the third book here soon, so I can make a video about that. And I'm not even including anything that's coming out this year, like Brandon Sanderson's Fifth in the Stormlight. I'm definitely going to read that, though it's coming out, I believe, in December, so I'm not even sure I'm going to have it finished by the end of the year. So there's a bunch of things I'm excited to read, even though they're not on this list. This is more of things that I have that have existed that I really want to get to. So that's the video. If you have any other book recommendations for this year, I know there are so many I want to get to, but for now, this is what I'm going to start with until I get tired and find other things to read, or I get distracted more like. So anyway, keep on reading, guys, and thanks for watching.